Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in this session, we are going to start new topic of Palo Alto, that is high availability. So in this session, we'll try to cover what is high availability and its concept. And in next session, we'll try to implement in the lab so that our session will not, we can say longer. Okay. Okay, guys. So high availability is very, we can say important to understand because at the moment 99% of the company use high availability. We can say like redundancy. Okay. So for example, there are we can say for example, there are your a small site of your company and where only one firewall is deployed. And for example, if there any outage happen, maybe power outage or device failure, so that site will be fully down. Okay, from the network perspective. So to avoid such types of things, we can use HA guys. Okay. So it's kinds of HA is we can say like a special approach to system design and deployment. It's provide redundancy to our network. We can say in our company. Okay. PAN-OS ensure high availability by grouping firewalls into pairs. So if we are going to group two firewalls or more than two in a pair, that is a part of HA, or we can say like cluster guys. Okay. So what is the prerequisite for HA guys? So both devices should be on the same model guys. Maybe if it is we are building HA on the hardware, so both hardware should be on the same model. If we are building on virtual, so both should be on the same version, same we can say like on environment. If it is deploy or VMware or maybe EXXI guys. Same version should be same interfaces, licenses, everything should be match. Otherwise, for example, two firewalls if you want to put two firewall in the HA and one firewall serial number is 123 just consider and another firewall serial number is again 123. See if the both firewall serial number same, it will never come in HA. Okay. So HA we use in the company guys to provide redundancy to avoid outage related to our traffic in the company in the production we can say. So for that purpose we use HA. Okay. There are two modes in HA, that is active passive and active active. 99% of the cases we can say active passive is deployed. In case of active passive guys, if you two firewall, so one for example there are two firewall in HA. Okay, maybe this is LAN side PC, maybe multiple user connected, LAN 1, LAN 2. This is outside switch, maybe this is internet or maybe our ISP router we can say. So if traffic is handled by this firewall, so for example, this firewall 1 is active, guys. If this firewall goes down, traffic will handle by this firewall. So that is called active passive setup. Okay. It is going to support layer 2 deployments, virtual wire, as well as layer 3. Okay. In case of activity, guys, so whatever I have idea and whatever I have experience related to active. So active is good if you are using load balancer in production. It will be very good. For example, there is our one load balancer, and if traffic coming to the load balancer in backend pool, we have configured two firewall. So our load balancer is going to distribute 50% traffic to this firewall and 50% this firewall as per the load balancing method. So in this scenario, active is playing vital role. I'm not saying like it is only possible with the help of load balancer. No, we can also use active without load balancer, but best approach if you are using load balancer, it will very good things. And as per my experience, I have worked on this scenario, guys. Okay, but 99% company use this active passive. So this is the HA modes, and we have understand about the high availability and its requirement, why you use it, This is the modes, guys, and then failover detection. So how we can configure like failure mechanism in HA, guys? So we can achieve with the help of like link failure, path failure. So for example, two firewall in HA, and there are some, we can say, like interfaces here which is connected to outside world, and there are some interfaces which is connected to inside world. Okay, and from this switch there is like, we can say, like uplink is there, and from this switch we can say like multiple our LAN user is connected. Okay. Okay, so we can configure like link failure. For example, we can configure in monitoring like if this interface goes down, or this interface goes down, or this interface goes down. We can say like out of four interface, if any interface goes down, please fail over to this firewall. So that is a part of, guys, link failure. We can configure as a monitoring. We can configure as a path failure also. For example, there one a critical server in your company, so we can use that server. We can select the part of mission critical. So we can use that server as a path monitoring purpose. Our active firewall is going to continuously ping to this mission critical firewall. And if there is no response, this firewall going to be failover, and this firewall is going to be act as a active. Okay. So there are three mechanisms where we can use failover mechanisms related to monitoring, like link monitoring, path monitoring. So that's about the failover detection. Let me go a little bit more on the well with the help of this PDF, guys, because this session is only about theory part. So in the upcoming sessions, we'll implement in the lab. So if you have the firewall devices, this is, I think, 3000 series. So we can say like HA port, HA1, HA2 port. This is the management port. This is console port. And another firewall has also the same port like HA1, HA2. So HA1 will be connected to another firewall HA1. HA2 will be connected to another firewall HA2. It will look like that. We can use switch in the middle. It depends upon your design. Okay. I have already mentioned active passive part. Then I have mentioned like active active. Okay. And I also mentioned like active active is quite good if you are using load balancer in prod. And in load balancer backend pool, we can configure our both firewall. If traffic coming to the load balancer is going to distribute among two firewall which is working in the backend. We can say like in the load balancer backend pool, as we can say like round robin, we can say like 50% traffic to this firewall, 50% traffic to this firewall. If this firewall goes down, load balancer is going to send 100% traffic to this firewall only. Okay, so this is a quite good setup, guys. This is quite good design, and I have worked on these types of setup. Okay, so this is the active setup, guys. Prerequisite I have already covered. Same model, same OS version, and we can say like same serial numbers. Everything should be good. We can say like on the same version. We can say like same model. There are link, guys. It is very important to understand while before configuring HA. So there are two link. We can select control link. It is a part of management plane, and this is the data link. It is the part of data plane, guys. I'm going to explain a little bit more here. So control link HA1, it is the part of management plane, and HA2 is the part of data plane. So HA1 basically used to like exchange heartbeat and hellos to each other, or sync configuration to each other. We can use layer 3 interfaces for the control link. Okay. And HA2 is the part of data plane. For that, we can use layer 2 or layer 3, either one. So we generally use layer 2 only. So data plane is basically used to sync session, forwarding tables, IPsec security association, and ARP tables to each other, guys. Okay. It is very important to understand before implementing the lab. So we have two link, control link, and data link. It also asks the question in the interview. If you're giving an interview, they ask the questions like how many link, and that link is a part of which plane. So control link the part of management plane, and data link is the part of data plane. We can also configure, guys, HA1 backup, for example, HA1 backup and HA2 backup. So for example, HA1 goes down, that will be handled by HA1 backup. If HA2 link goes down, it will handle by HA2 backup. Okay. So these are the, we can say like component, these are the functionality, these are the features in available in our Palo Alto high availability concept, guys. Okay. So in control link, we generally say heartbeat, heartbeat polling and hello message to each other. Ping is sent every 130 millisecond. If there are three consecutive heartbeat losses, failover occurs. So this active firewall is going to send continuously ping to each other, and every 130 millisecond we can it is recommended to use on the default one, whatever decided by Palo Alto. Okay, so after it is going to send continuously, and for example it is going to send ping one time, two time, three times. If there is no reply comes from three times, this firewall not active. Now let me take the role back as active. So for that purpose, we can select this is the concept of heartbeat polling. Okay, so heartbeat is an ICMP ping to the HA peer over the controlling guys, and the peer response to establish that the firewall are connected and responsive. So basically, heartbeat is basically used. Okay, hello, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? So that if there is no any response, this firewall will act as active. So for that purpose, it is used, and it is the part of controlling guys. Okay, hello messages are sent from one peer to other to verify the state of the firewall. I have mentioned we can use link monitoring and path monitoring to achieve our failover mechanism. So if any of the firewall interface goes down or any one interface goes down, we can set up accordingly. Um, if you don't want like all the interface goes down, then failover happen. If you want like only one interface goes down, failover happen. Or if you want like all interface like to outside interface to inside interface go down, then failover happen. Okay, but in it is recommended and it is default like we can say like you can use any interface. So if any interface goes down, failover will happen and traffic will handle by other box. Path monitoring I mentioned, like if there is mission critical server in environment, our firewall, active firewall is going to continuously ping to this mission critical server. And if there is no reply, this failover will happen and traffic will handle by this. Okay. So this is the path monitoring priority. So in case of Palo Alto, for example, two firewall, if you are planning to put in the HA, so for example, this power priority is 90 and this is 100. So less priority will become active and lower will be become as a standby. We can select passive. So it is very, very important to understand. Okay. We can also enable preemption, guys. So let me a little bit explain about preemption. So for example, this firewall is active. This is a passive. We can say like a standby passive. So if you enable the preemption, so for example, this firewall goes down. This is playing as active. Okay. If once this firewall come up again, so if you're not enable preemption, this firewall is going to active continuously. But if you enable preemption, so if this firewall come up again, it will take the role as active, and again this firewall will become passive. So this is the concept of preemption, and it is also asked in the interview, especially if you are giving like um, we can say like level 2 interview. Okay. So these are a lab guys. In our environment, we can use different IP. So this will be our HA1 link and then backup and HA2 backup. And accordingly, we can use this router as a for path monitoring, and we can use all the link for the link monitoring. So if any interface goes down, we'll try to shut down this interface and we'll see like failover will happening from Palo Alto 1 to Palo Alto 2 or not. Okay. So that will cover on the lab. Let me show a little bit about if any we have any. Yeah. Yeah, here we can set like in device priority we can set guys. Preemption we can enable heartbeat backup, HA timer setting. So we generally keep recommended one. Device priority I already mentioned, preemption I already mentioned, heartbeat backup, HA timer setting. It is generally we keep as a recommended, which is given by Palo Alto itself. For setting the high availability, we need to go on the device and high availability, and we can configure out all the things like controlling data links and various stuffs. We'll try to see other things in the upcoming hour session. Okay, here we can enable our HA part and we can give the description and we can use mode active, passive or active. It's up to you. So first I will try to implement active passive, but then we'll try to show you active active. So we'll see everything. Don't worry about it, guys. Okay. Verification. So we need to go for verification. We need to go on the widgets and go on the system and high availability. So once we'll do it, will look like that, guys. Local will be passive, peer active. We can do failover also, and we can also request high availability sync to remote running config. We can use this command to also for sync purpose. So and whatever configuration we are doing, um, we need to configure HA related configuration on both firewall, guys. For example, this is firewall 1, firewall 2. So HA related things we need to configure on both the firewall, but other related things we only need to configure on the active. And once both firewall in HA, once we do sync, it is going to sync from active to a standby. So going forward, we only need to configure all the things on the active firewall. And once you do commit, everything is going to sync to the passive. We'll see you in the lab, guys. Okay. And we'll try to do failover also. Okay. So this is about high availability in Palo Alto. So this session was related to theory part, some concept of high availability. Upcoming session we'll try to implement in the lab. First we'll do active passive, then we'll do active active, and then third session will be on fully troubleshooting on HA. So I'm going to also upload the video related to troubleshooting, guys. Okay. So if you really like my efforts, please share, like, subscribe as much as possible. Let's meet on the next session. Thank you very much, everybody.